My name's Nell Ranney. I'm the director of Girls, written by
Victoria Haralabidou.
And this development was supported by the New South Wales Government through Create New South Wales to look specifically at the Auslan component of the play, which the play itself, written by Victoria, is already inherently physical and visual as it is, but was originally just written in English. So we've been working with Sue Jo Wright as our Auslan and Access consultant, but also she's been our guide in terms of learning about deaf culture, and she, being an artist herself, has worked with us to look at the script dramaturgically from that perspective as well.
So I'm really thinking about what I've learnt from this workshop. What's something positive that we've learnt in these workshops? And I think I feel like deaf actors being more involved in the process has been really worthwhile. We're really slowly and evolving everything, but I think it's still really valuable to have them involved. Actors always have different perspectives and different ideas to input as well. I mean, everyone obviously is individualised in how they sign and their experience growing up and what they bring to the workshop. So I felt like that was completely and utterly valuable having that. You know, I've worked previously where I was an Auslan consultant in another performance in Auslan, and the perspectives were different with more hearing. I feel there was an imbalance from deaf to hearing. But actually having deaf people in this and role playing is better than what I've had previously, where it was a little bit outnumbered. I feel like the deaf people in there are bringing their stories and they're bringing their ideas to this workshop, you know, and we can see our dreams as deaf community are coming true, and it's lovely to see their confidence and their shining throughout this workshop. So, you know, I feel like the future needs to be similar to this. I feel like every company, every theatre company, every production needs to bring deaf actors involved into their process. I want to see the change. You know, it's time for a change. We're in the future. It's almost 2022. Come on, you know, the old days are gone. We don't need to follow the old way of, you know, only hearing people on the stage and putting deaf people to the side or thinking about them as an accessibility issue at the end. Deaf people need to be involved throughout. You know, so deaf people can be in the audience as well. Hearing and deaf can be together to watch theatre, and I think the deaf future is definitely bright.
So what we've done in this workshop, essentially, starting with a script that was only written in English and had one deaf character, is that we've now essentially created 3 deaf characters, and with one of those doubling as English speaking and 2 of them being shadow interpreters. And we've rewritten the entire script accordingly to make sure that when the shadow interpreters of Mike and the cleaner are on stage, that sometimes they're shadow interpreting, but also they have their own character, their own past, their own future, and they are integral into the entire story.
I think that the role of shadow interpreter is quite a new concept for the Australian theatre. I've only seen it in the production in the children's play. So for us to make the characters interpreting the story but being in character rather than being 2 people outside interpreting for the deaf community, but making them integral part of the play is for me very important.
I'm really so excited to be working on this project because I've always wanted to see more creativity in accessibility from the inception of a new work, a new theatre piece, rather than as an afterthought, an add-on, the theatre's done and they just add an interpreter at the end. And that's not true accessibility. True integration of accessibility makes the experience more natural for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're hearing or a deaf audience member. I'm really excited to see that happen.
So for me, these workshops, I feel this experience has been incredible as well. You know, with actors, it doesn't matter if they know 2 languages, like they're bilingual. For me, I felt like it was really easy and quick to work with someone who was also bilingual, the same as me. My experience in the past is I always work with someone who doesn't know my languages, and it's obviously takes longer and more work to get together. But this experience was just magic and beautiful to work with people who are also bilingual like myself.
to have Australian Sign Language as part of this production is really important, and something that we don't have here at all. And so to be able to be flexible, to rewrite the play, to rewrite characters, to invent new characters, to allow people from our deaf community to have somewhere to be on the stage is really important. And I think that this workshop is a precedent for workshops for theatre to come.
I want to write a play for the future. I want to make it as accessible as possible and inclusive as possible. And I think that me and Nell, we know what the play is, what the play is not, and we are open. And for me, it was a surprise how much people appreciated, and the actors and the collaborators appreciated the fact that we are listening and fully inclusive. And I think that's because that's how theatre should be, actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me
And
at
it's
all.
actually enhancing the story.
It does, and I'm grateful. But to feel that people still feeling in our day and time that they are outside trying to get in. Theatre is a process, and it shouldn't be lonely. And we're creating something together.